Hi there, it's Mike Blackwell again here from Physio. We're just going to look today at doing some what we call isometric hamstring strengthening. Basically what that means is that the two muscle ends, in a normal contraction, for example with a bicep curl, as you do a bicep curl, the two muscle ends are getting closer together, so that'd be called a concentric contraction. Well, with an isometric contraction, if we're using the bicep as an example, it's basically just that there's resistance there, but it's not actually moving. So that's the first part that we're going to look at. So what we're doing, we're popping the foot in the red band, and then once you've got into position, what you can then do is lie down in that position, and then first of all, in the early stages of the rehab, what we may look at is we may look at just coming to about 30 degrees. Just check, yeah, approximately 30, maybe more like there. And so we're holding it about that 30 degrees, and then from there, we want to be holding that up to potentially 45 seconds. But when you first do this, you may find that somebody can only hold it for 10 seconds or so. It must be pain-free, and that's the really important thing. You mustn't be kind of lifting your bum up to do it. You mustn't be arching your back. You must have your head rest down. You mustn't be tilting over to the opposite side, but just kind of lifting up from there to about 30 degrees and maintaining that pressure. You should feel the hamstring muscle working, but as I say, it mustn't be painful. And then you can relax that down. And then you must have at least you need 2 minutes rest in between each set, and you can do up to 4 sets. You can do that every day. You can do it a couple of times a day as long as it's not painful, and then gradually increase that time up to the 45 seconds. But if you're starting at 10 seconds, it's gonna take you a few weeks to get there, because if we're looking at a tendon, so we're looking at tendon loading and increasing that loading, you may not find it's painful at the time, but you may find if you've done a bit too much, it can be sore the next day. So just bear that in mind. The next step from that, if you're doing that successfully, you're doing your 45 seconds with 2 minutes rest in between and 4 sets, then what you can look at is increasing that range of movement to 90 degrees, okay? So you're going from your 30 degrees all the way up to your 90 degrees, or roughly 90 degrees, and then you're doing exactly the same thing, the same level of seconds of hold, the same rest in between, and the same number of sets. And you can see, as it fatigues, it does start to do that little bit of a shake, and that's just a sign that the muscle's fatiguing. So yeah, that's basically the first exercise that we're looking at, which is the isometric hamstring curl. See you soon.